Hello everyone, and welcome to the user group session. Today we are diving into the Splunk dashboard studio. Uh, Let me share my screen. Let me make my screen is visible. Uh, I hope my screen is visible.
Uh, yes, Basaraj.
Thank you. So today we will be diving into the Splunk dashboard studio, where you will learn how to create uh, powerful, interactive, and visually engaging dashboards without writing complex code. So before we begin, let me introduce myself. Um, my name is Baswaraj Pagar, and I am a consultant at Bitsio. I'm actively using Splunk for security monitoring, dashboard development, and data analysis. I'm also very interested in optimizing searches within Splunk and improving data ingestion to make things run even smoother. Okay. Now, a quick question for you all. Are you currently using Splunk, and what are you interested in using Splunk for? Feel free to drop your answers in the chat. Then, yeah. All right. Let's quickly run through what we are covering today. We will start with an overview of Dashboard Studio and why Splunk developed it, and then we will uh, walk you through creating a dashboard from start to finish. You will see how easy it is to add tables, various visualizations like charts, how to create a chain search for more complex data, and how to incorporate interactive inputs. Finally, I will show you some tips and tricks for polishing those dashboards to make them look professional and polished. Let's dive in and I'll show you the power of Splunk Dashboard Studio. So the objective of this session is simple. That is transform data into storytelling. On the left side, you see raw machine data, just a wall of text, overwhelming and difficult to interpret. But on the right, we have beautifully designed dashboard that tells a clear visual story about business performance. This is the power of Splunk Dashboard Studio. Um, it helps you turn complex data into meaningful insights with interactive, visually rich dashboards. Now let's explore the different dashboarding options available in our Splunk today, the current dashboarding options. So first we have simple XML with CSS and JavaScript extensions. This approach allows cascaded rows and panels with styling and control through custom CSS and JavaScript, enabling advanced visualizations. Next, HTML dashboards. Um, while they provide full flexibility with HTML, JavaScript, and Splunk JS-based code, they come up with a trade-off. Once converted, you lose UI-based editing, and some simple XML features may not work. Then we have glass tables. These offer a drag and drop UI for resizing and arranging the panels. However, they are great for visual ease. They don't allow chaining or custom visualizations and don't have accessible source code. Uh, Finally, the new dashboards framework is the latest innovation built on what you see is what you get WYSIWYG approach. It uses JSON-based code and is commonly found in Dashboard Studio, ITSI, and Enterprise Security. Each option has its strengths and limitations, so choosing the right one depends on your specific needs. Now let's take a look at how dashboards used before and the latest improvements. So first we had a simple XML dashboards, now known as classic dashboards. Uh, these these were easy to deploy with various visualizations, but they made it difficult to craft a cohesive story. While they were flexible and extensive with custom JavaScript and CSS, achieving a visually stunning dashboards required significant effort. Additionally, exporting to PDF often lost the look and feel of the original dashboard. Next, we had glass tables, which allowed users to craft a compelling story with the absolute layout and text. They were easy for non-technical users to get started with, but they lacked advanced visualization and interactivity. Another drawback was the lack of an export option. So now dashboards have evolved significantly with the modern Splunk dashboard. Uh, Users can create powerful story-driven visualizations using advanced tools. These dashboards offer streamlined editing experience, making it easier to build and customize layouts without requiring extensive coding. With no custom code required, more users, including those without technical expertise, can create and manage the dashboards efficiently. The new features empowers dashboards that creators and users alike, enabling them to design fully customizable, high impact dashboards that communicate insights effectively. All right, now let's dive into the demo on Splunk Dashboard Studio. Mm, We'll start with building a new dashboard. So first we will navigate to the apps and then select the app where you want to create the dashboard, and then we'll click on the dashboards tab and select create new dashboard. I hope my audio is like good to you all. Let me know if you am I audible or not.
Yes,
Yeah,
Basaraj.
correct. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, we will click on create new dashboards and then we will give it a name. So today we will going through we'll be covering the Cisco events. I will name it like a Cisco overview dashboard. Um, Cisco event overview dashboard. Just then here you can give it a permission like a private, keep it to yourself or share it in the app. And then this is the classic, and then this is the dashboard studio. So we will select on the dashboard studio option. This will allow you to create visually rich and customizable dashboards uh, compared to the classic one. And then we will select the absolute. This provides full layout control, allowing you to place and resize elements freely. Alternatively, the grid layout will help with the quick organizations, like you can move it like quickly. So now we will select absolute and then click on create. This setup will serve as the foundation for our dashboard. This is called the canvas. So now we will here we can add the background image as well. Like so, for that we have to go to the configurations. This is settings button is the configuration. Then here, so before that we can also increase the size and size of the canvas. Like this is the canvas. See this one. This area is the canvas here. Then I can, if I want, I can reduce this like 400. This is reduced to this much only. So like this, you can increase resize the canvas area, and then this display mode. Here in the display mode options, we will select the fit to width option. This ensures the dashboard scales dynamically across different screen sizes. And other options are automatically adjust based on the content, and then actual size keeps the elements at a fixed size, which may require scrolling. So we prefer to use the fit to width. Then yeah, to add a background, you can add a URL here, or you can upload a image. So for uploading, like I can select and then Yes. Yeah. So you can select layout like this, and then this also has like options. Uh, these ones like custom one allows manually resizing and positioning of the background image, and then content ensures the full image is visible but may leave empty spaces, and then cover ensures the background image fills the entire canvas without gaps. So we will prefer cover, and then original size is as it is. So cover will cover the entire canvas here. We'll remove it for now. So this is how you can add the background image. Okay, now let's look at adding the panels. So before that, let's look at the options here. So this is the undo, and then this is uh, if you hover your mouse on the options, you will see the names like add chart, which is add panels, and then add inputs, and then icon, shape, image, markdown as the text inputs, configuration, data sources, code. So yeah, and so to create a panel, like we will click on add chart option here, and then from the drop down, for now we will select a bar chart. The On the right hand side, you have an option to select the primary data source. So here we will have to add the search query to support the panel. So let me take search query quickly. So first we will add the events count by severity. This is the query for that. So let's first run this query and then see the results. Here I'm going to increase the time for now. Yeah, we have the results. I'm going to create a search for this panel. I'm going to name it like events count by severity. Events count by severity is the data source name here. That is the search query name. Then here I'm going to, for now, I'm going to select a static time and then select for all time because we don't have the data for last 24 hours. Also select 90 days, we have it within that period. So, and then I'm going to click on apply, close, and then this will load. Similarly, I will, so this is the data source name. Similarly, we have to name for the type panel here. So I'm going to add a title and then click over here. So now you can see this panel as a title now. So you can also resize it like using these options, or you can use this option to resize it. Yeah. So this chart answers the question like where are our biggest risks. By visualizing violations by severity, we can quickly focus our investigation at high risk or recurring users or issues. Yeah. Uh, Now let's add another panel. Uh, Now I'm going to select a line chart. So here you have an option to select a data source. One option you will get like this, or else if you come out of this and then click on it, you will get an option like here to add a data source. I'm going to set a primary data source. Here you can create a search. Then to add another search second panel, I'm going to name it total violations. This will be my search query for the panel. This is the data source name, and then click on apply. I'm going to name the title as well. We don't have the data here, so I'm going to click on static and then select 90 days for now. So now you can see that your line chart is like this. Like if I select all time, so this query has like a span of 1 minute. So I have to select a precise time for this. So for that, I'm going to first identify the time. So here, as you can see, not all events have the data. It is somewhere around these two dates. I'm going to select a time here from the date time range between, this is around October 17th and 16th. So I'm going to select the October 16th, then October 18th. So in between those days, I'm going to create a search query. Here the span is 1 minute, it will give too many events. I'm going to increase it to 12 hours just for the visualization purpose. So one more thing is like now you have like around 6 chunks. So now you can see like around these times like events were high. So also like you can add a panel from here as well. Like once you have generated a query, you can click on save as and then click on existing dashboard or new dashboard. Since I have existing dashboard, I'm going to select. Then this will be your dashboard name. I'm going to search it over here, and then I'm going to I can give it anything. Then click on save dashboard and then view dashboard. Now it is added to my dashboard. I can resize it however I want. You know, since I have this query created, that is like something search, so I'm going to use that query to this panel. So I can like this one I'm going to remove, and then I'm going to edit this. Not this one. I'm going to remove the data source here and then attach the newly created search query, which is unused till now, like for now. So before that, I'm going to remove this. I don't want this. I'm going to rename this to that name. Total violations. Now you can see the visualizations like between this and this time you have like these many events, and then this is the peak usage. So it will let you know like at what time you have high risk usage or um, medium usage, medium risk events. So those kind of analysis you can do with this line chart. And now let's add another panel, that is area chart. Also you can change the panel type here as well. Even after you create the search query, I mean these will just, the panels type will be decided over here, and then it will be based on the data source you have mentioned here. For area chart, I'm going to select another query, that is events over time. This is the search query. Again, this is same, like similarly, I will not be having any events for this around all time. It will not show proper results because it is spanning it 1 hours. So for that, what I will do is I will just delete this one. I'm going to create a clone of this because this search query, this data source has a custom time range selected already. So I don't want to repeat the task. So for that, I want to create a clone and then resize it over here. And then clone data source is also created. So here I'm going to edit this and then change the query. And I'm also going to change the name of that data source. And then custom time is already selected. I don't have to select it manually. Then apply close. Now this is a line chart, but I wanted to see the area chart. I'm going to change it to area chart. And here also I'm going to split the time by 6 hours for now. Now you can see this, like during this time, you have the high peak usage. I mean, like this panel gives us a quick pulse of the environment. We can instantly spot the surge in error events or type of events happened overnight. Or if you are one of the Cisco sources suddenly goes quiet, those kind of things also be identified this from these ones. And this is good for investigating. Let's add another chart. This time I'm going to select a pie chart. We can just quickly resize it in this absolute mode. In the grid mode, like if you resize this one will automatically come over here. We'll show that again. So for pie chart, I'm going to select this search query, events distribution by vendor. In this one, we will see all the vendors. Here also I'm going to select it for last 90 days. And I'm going to name the panel. It's count by vendor. Then save it. This helps network teams to see which vendors or zones are the busiest or most noisy. If one zone suddenly starts generating far more activity than others, it might be due to misconfiguration or even suspicious behavior. So these kind of investigation we can do from this pie chart. Okay, now um, let's look into the adding interactivities. So before that, like if you have any questions, like please feel free to ask. Do you have any questions on the panels? I'll take that as a no. So let's move forward with adding the interactivity. So here goal is to make the dashboards dynamic with the user inputs. Here the core concept is to understand the tokens to link a dashboard dropdown to a panel search. So before that, let's understand what are tokens. So think of tokens as a temporary variables that store values during dashboard interactions. Um, for example, here I have the search query. What if I want to see only for the vendors which are starting with the zero, vendor zero? For those, I'm going to create like this search vendor equal to vendor zero star. So this will give 0 to 9 how many counts we have. So this variable here, this is you can replace this with the token. There will be a token called vendor. I'm going to create a token called vendor in this demo session only. That will replace the value of that will hold the value of these uh, that will hold these values. Okay. So let's look into those tokens. So here this global time range is also a token. It has a token name called global time, and now it is set by default to last 24 hours. Okay, so before that, like, I'm going to assign this panel with a token. So here it is static for 90 days now. Now I'm going to make it to select this input token. I can either select default. Default will have this global time range, which is already created by Splunk, or else I can create an input. Like I can select from the inputs drop down. Now this will be based like this search query will be linked with this global time range. This global time range only the time range token will have two values, like global time earliest and then global time latest. Other tokens will have like a single values. Mostly like the tokens which don't start with dot, like don't have the dot. Okay. Now I'm going to click on apply, and then you will see the change in in this panel. Now, since we don't have any data for last 24 hours, we don't see any values here. So by default, this is set to last 24 hours. When you open a dashboard, every time this uh, global time range will be set to last 24 hours. So to change that, we have to click on this one, and then here the default value option will be there. Here we will have to change it to last 90 days and then save. Now, when you open it when you open it from the start, you will see it changed now, and then the panel will also show some results. Uh, Here the token name, the time range is assigned to a token, that is global time token, which can be referenced in the searches also. I can reference this time in the searches as well, or I can just add it as a time range token here as well, or else I can add it over here as well, earliest equal to global time earliest token. I can use it like this as well. I can even do like this. Okay. And, some also there is this option called display mode above canvas and then in canvas. So this above canvas will, if you make it in canvas, it will come inside the canvas and you can place it anywhere, wherever you want. Like if you want it over here, you can do it there, or else you can set it on the above canvas, which will be visible at the top of the dashboard. Then so this is the default time range. What if you want to create a another time input for another panel, like which is referring another time? For example, this time is referring for 90 days. If you want, if this panel is referring for all time, then we can do that as well. So for that, we have to select add input option and then select the time range. Then here I'm going to give it a name, custom time. This will be my token name. The default value I'm going to change it to all time. Then save it. Then I'm going to change this. Here it is set to static. Now I can, if you select the default is only this one, global time, which comes as soon as you create the dashboard. So to select a custom time, you have to go here and then in the input, here you have to change it to custom time. This is the token in here. It is set to last 24 hours from here, but by default, I have changed it to all time. You know, it is, yeah. So now I can save it and then either I can change it all time here, or else if I open it from the scratch, it will be by default all time. And that is because I have set it to here default value. And then we have some values here as well. So this is about time input. Now let's see for another inputs like vendor and then severity. First, before that, yeah, okay, let's start from the vendor only. So to add an input for vendor, like to see this one, your search query is like this. So what if you want to see the high severity events for this vendor? So for that you have to have a token value, token and a value. So for that I'm going to create a input from the drop down here. From the add input option, I'm going to select a drop down. Then I'm going to give a title here, select input. Sorry, select vendor. Token name is the vendor. Here these comes as the default ones. Like you can remove these static configurations. One option is like this. These will come as it as like this, and you can add some more items here, like vendor X, and then value is some other something. But for now, I'm going to utilize a search query. So as you can see here, X is also available as I added the static value. So I'm going to remove all these static values. I'm only keeping this all, and so here, like I showed an example here, right? This one here, this will be replaced with the token now. So for that one, I'm going to add a search query here. First, it should have a values like to select this value, it should have a value, right? Token. For that, I'm going to select this search query. Create a new search. Vendor token search query. Now you can see this. Along with this all, you have these all the vendors. This search query is like it is going to list all the vendors, stats count by vendor. I'm going to save it. Now let's see this in action. Like I just showed earlier, like I'm going to select this vendor token. Then I'm going to add it to the search query. So this was the search which we created. I'm going to add it like this. So always tokens when you are adding a search, like a token in the search queries, you will add the dollars enclosed to the token name. Add this over here. Now you can see this like when you select a token, this panel will be showing only for those selected vendor. 002. This is going to be changed. Then you will see the count as well. Once you hover on that, this the tokens will work like this. So also I'm going to add another token. Uh, can also add that same thing for these all panels as well. Add that. Mm. Yeah. But the problem here is like we don't have the data for the severities. Where we have the data for vendor, we don't have the data for severity. So let me add a custom query to populate some fake data. This is I'm going to do like this. Let me add the same for this one as well. Now, now you can see there are 2600 and 2061 warning events for all the vendors. If you select only one vendor, you will see it like there are only 77 warnings for that vendor. And then high 24. Then if I select different one, but warnings, you can see this one. Uh, there are 86 warnings for this one. Let's add another token for severity. You want to select the drop down and then name that, give the title as severity. Remove the static values. Then default value here also we can add, select the default ones. For example, okay, let me save this for now. For example, for the select vendor, by default, when you open the dashboard, it will be set to all because you have set it here. Here I can select all, or I can select the values, whichever comes. For example, if you have another value, you can select it over here. By default, label one will be selected for that term. And then, yeah, now let's add a severity. For that, I'm going to create a data source. This search query will list all the This search query will list all the severities, and you can see these all severities. Like for example, I'm going to add this severity to this search query here. Similar to vendor, I'm going to add the severity here. Again, while mentioning this token, you will enclose it with the token like dollars. Okay, sorry. We'll add these after the values. Same thing over here. I've added these two tokens here. Now let's look at these. So if I select the severity high, you should see only high here and then all the vendors with the high severity. So, yeah. So if I select uh, warning, you should see the change in these two panels because I have used the tokens here. Then if I select the critical, now it is also changed. Okay. Then you can also do like one vendor and then one particular severity as well. You don't have critical for vendor one. So these will be helpful for investigation. Like this, you can select the tokens. Mm. Now let's add the drill downs. And this will be for the deeper investigation. So far, we have been building the static dashboard. They show the same data for everyone, but the tokens and drill downs we make dashboards interactive. And tokens are like variables that store what users select, like vendor equal to 10, vendor equal to 10, or vendor 10, vendor 20, vendor 5, vendor 6. And drill downs help us link visualizations together. For example, I can click on a severity bar warning, and it instantly filters the detailed event tables below, like in this one. I mean, this is the power of Splunk's dynamic dashboards. Now let's add the drill downs. So, I mean, like when a user clicks on a bar or a slice or a row or like in a table or in bar chart, it triggers another search to open in a new dashboard, or it can open in a new tab, or you can that token can be used in this panel. So these all things we can do. So for that, let me create a table on here so that we can see all of those. Yes, let me add the events over here at 20. to change the canvas height here. This is default set to this one. Okay, here is the wrong like severity. Add that then as well. Then also create a to clone it. Then I'm going to call this as a events. Now as you can see this one, like if you select the vendor that is present, it is not included here. If you want to view the top, there is still, so here I can increase the height again like to 1300 to make this table sync part of the canvas. Now when you select any vendor, these panels will load. For example, we're going to select the panel one, like vendor one. These tables will show only vendor one events and then table. So this was how to make it. So now to make it like if you want to, if you are selecting warning, then only warning event should be shown in this panel. If you want to make that drill downs, you have to select the panels and go to the interactions, add an interaction, select set a token, and then here you have these options like name, field name, and then value is the value of the location clicked, and then row dot field name dot value. This is what we will select. So, for example, here row dot field name dot value is selected, but field name is this one. Like this is the field name. Warning, I mean severity is the field name, which has the fields warning, high, info, low. When you select any of these bars, then you are selecting field name and its value will be selected. So I'm going to change that field name to severity. Then here token name as it is severity. So now if you see this one, I saved it, and now when I click on this warning, this should change, as well as here also you can see, okay, this is the table. Let me change this to events. Here also you are seeing this all the severities, but when I click on the high, only high should be shown here. Let me select the high here, and then here also token should change. This is changed, and then here it is changed, here also, and then here as well. So like this, you can add the drill down token. One option is to select from the drop down, and then another option is to select a panel, and then a token will be set by the drill downs. If I select the warning, warning is changed here. And then now let's add one more thing, that is to link to search. One more drill down. You need to select this pie chart. When you select a vendor, it should open a new search for that vendor. And, for that, I'm going to select the interactions. Here, I'm going to select the link to search. I'm going to add a custom search query over here. So let me select that. Here also, you will add some values like this. Row.vendor.value will do. Here the field name is vendor, and then its value will be selected. When I save it, okay, let me change it to open in a new tab and then apply. So when you click on a vendor, it should open a search in the new tab. For vendor 19, I'm going to do it opened here. Yeah, vendor equal to vendor 19. Yeah, this is where the dashboard truly becomes interactive. Instead of showing the same data to everyone, each user can focus on what matters to them, like viewing only high severity events from the particular vendor. Last, we would like to add some colors to the panels. Um, Before that, let's review few things, like revise few things. Like panel titles act as a headlines. They guide us. They guide the users' eyes to tell the story behind the data. A strong title helps your dashboard feel clean and intentional. Remember, clarity beats creativity in dashboards. The, Here, let's go to color and style. Here, Splunk automatically assigns colors, but you can customize them to make patterns easier to spot. For the best contrast, choose the dark colors. I mean, if you are using the light theme, choose dark, or if you are choosing the light, choose the dark color. Let's add it to the table here. Before that, let me change the query a bit. Okay, now we have different values here. So we'll try to add some colors to these values. Like if you have warning, then it should show different color than the high. Going to select this panel. And, here you have too many options to change the font and size, background. You can change the background. Like you can play around with these options. So here comes the column specific formatting. You can add the column format. Now I'm going to add the column format for severity. So severity, here it comes like here you can add there's a tab created for this one, and then here you have to click on edit. Here you have some more options. If you have some percentages like 80 percentage, so for them you can add a like after you can add a unit like this one. For example, here it will change for now. You'll see like after warning, you'll see the percentage now. If your value is percentage like 90%, 80%, you can add these values here. but I'm not going to do that for now because we don't want that. And then for the severity, we will add a color to the text. Here I'm going to select the light themes because I have dark background here, and I'm going to select this pattern divergent. Let me select this pattern. Let me add few of the matches. Now here I'm in the in the middle. I'm going to add the warning value. Here it says like here I am adding for the column formatting. So here we will add the values of the column severity. Now you can see the warning color changed. I can add the critical here. I can add a high here, the low, and info. Can even change these colors. Yeah, but, yeah, this is how you can do. You can add the light colors to the background or text. You can turn it off. And then there is this option called Markdown. There, if you want to add a title to something, like if you want to add something to any panels, or if you want to add another one, like for example, time range is between. This can be used as the, yeah, I mean, this markdown option is used can be used as the HTML text input. Here, if you see time range is between, I've added this one, and then I'm going to use these token values: global time range, earliest, and then latest. Here, time range is between global time dot earliest and global time dot latest. Then you can see this is the time. It is showing those values now here. So you can even add some highlights. Like you can make it bold. Sorry. You can make these as a headings sometimes. You can make them bold. Change it. You can make this as a italic, or like you can play around with these options as well. Uh, yeah. So that's it. I mean, at this point, our dashboard isn't just functional; it's intuitive. Every panel has a clear title. The color means something, and the layout tells a story from summary to detail. By the end of this session, we have a complete interactive Cisco security dashboard that combines everything we learned so far. Yeah. In real world SOC, the dashboards like this help analysts move from raw logs to insights in seconds. That's the power of Splunk, turning data into action. That's it for the demo. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Hello. Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Baswan. It was a great session.
Thank you, Tilakram.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.